Excuse me, Miss Mitchelson. Would you mind explaining why you're taking the day off so suddenly? There's a lot of work I need you to do for me today. I've noticed you've been taking much more time off after coming back from maternity leave. I hope you're not planning to use the fact that you waited until you were 41 to have your first child as an excuse to slack off at work. The pregnancy must have been hard on your body considering your age, but you're the one who made the choice to get pregnant. That's neither my fault nor this company's. I understand that you must be happy after finally conceiving after being married for 15 years, but you still have your responsibility to this company. This is your job. I expect you to do it.
Good morning, Mr. Sanders. I'm terribly sorry for calling in with such late notice.
If you've got time to apologize, and you've got time to work.
I explained the reason I took the day off to Nancy. She's the one who answered when I called in the morning. My daughter suddenly got a high fever. I was worried about whatever she may have spreading to the other kids at her daycare, so I decided to keep her home from school today. I was just about to take her to the doctor, and since I don't know how long I'll be waiting, I thought it best to take the whole day off.
A fever? Oh, come on, that's probably just a cold. Why get so worried over just a stupid cold? Put the kid to sleep and turn on the TV for them or something. I need you here!
Mr. Sanders, my daughter is only a year old, and fevers can be caused by a number of things. It could be something serious, and I don't want to take that risk with my child.
Stop dodging the issue. You know full well this is our busiest time of the year, Mitchelson. Do you have any idea what kind of burden your absence is putting on the rest of the employees?
I'm really sorry about causing trouble for everyone else, but it's my primary responsibility to look after my daughter's health and well-being as her mother. I can't leave her behind and go to work in these circumstances.
Of course you can!
I think any mother would feel the same way as I do. I'm taking today off, Mr. Sanders.
I don't believe this. If that's your attitude toward work, you're fired!
Mr. Sanders, you're the office manager. You don't have the authority to fire me.
So what? I can just tell my superior about your continued insubordination and he'll fire you. There's nothing you do in your job that couldn't be handled by anyone else. I've said it before and I'll say it again. No one is irreplaceable, especially not you, Mitchelson.
Oh, is that so? Then go ahead and fire me.
What?
I can't leave my child alone at a time like this. I'd be neglecting my responsibility as her parent.
Ha! So you're choosing your child over your job. Have it your way. Enjoy unemployment. That should teach you not to cross me.
Hi, Megan. How's your daughter doing?
Much better, thank you. The doctor prescribed us some medicine. She's sleeping soundly right now.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Thanks for asking.
By the way, Mr. Sanders came into the office earlier and said that you were fired? I thought you were just taking the day off to care for your daughter. Did something else happen? I was so shocked to hear that.
I'm sorry to have worried you, Nancy. He said that he'd fire me if I put my daughter first, so I told him to go ahead and fire me.
Wow. What is he thinking? We're totally lost around here without you. He told me that I'll be in charge of all your old duties now?
Oh, about that. I thought that something like this may happen, so I put together a manual some time ago to keep things moving smoothly while I'm gone.
You did? Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
However, that was something I started doing under the previous manager. You remember Mr. Rogers? He retired about a year ago. When Mr. Sanders came in as a replacement, he told me that it was a waste of time and to stop working on it.
That's ridiculous! A waste of time? What is wrong with him?
Oh, don't worry. There was a pre-existing manual, titled Manual 5, so I kept working on my manual in secret and attached it to the end of the old one. It's in my personal folder in the shared cloud storage, so go ahead and copy it into yours. If possible, do it at a time when Sanders isn't around. It might get messy if he found out about it.
Gotcha. Let me look for it. Oh, found it!
Excellent! There are some technical things that are difficult even with the manual, so it might take some time to get used to everything.
Hey, it's better than nothing. Thanks so much, Megan.
Let me know if I can help you out in any way.
Seriously, though, how can they fire you? Mr. Sanders must be out of his mind. I'm gonna go and give him a piece of my mind after lunch.
Nancy, it's okay. Calm down. I don't want you to go getting yourself in any trouble. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. For now, I think it's best if you keep your head down.
But Megan...
It's okay, Nancy. Do you think I would just let myself get fired without having a plan in mind?
A plan?
I know it may be hard to wait, but everything will become clear soon enough.
Hello, Miss Mitchelson. Would you mind coming back to work right now? It's a mess over here. Miss Mitchelson!
Good morning, Mr. Sanders.
Oh, good, you're there. Now please, come into work.
I'm sorry. I was under the impression I wasn't working there anymore.
Nothing official has happened yet. You're still an employee on the books.
I'm afraid I'm not. I've already tendered my resignation to the main office.
What's the main office? Aren't I your immediate superior? Why would you go over my head like that?
Because upper management lost their confidence in you.
That's impossible!
Didn't you hear that our office is merging with the branch in the neighboring city?
You knew about that?
You're being demoted, aren't you, Mr. Sanders?
How did you know about that?
I made a report to upper management about the way you treated me when I took the day off to take care of my daughter. They called me in to personally apologize, and they told me everything.
They apologized for what? I didn't do anything wrong!
In the middle of the corporate push to support employees with young children, you tried to force me to come into work rather than take care of my sick daughter. And when I refused to come in, you told me to, quote, put the kid to sleep and turn on the TV for them or something. That's quite an irresponsible thing to say, don't you think? And to top it all off, you told me I was fired when you had no authority to do so.
But why would they shut down the whole office?
If you don't understand why, that just goes to show your incompetence as a manager.
What do you mean?
Not to blow my own horn, but I was carrying quite a lot of weight on my back at that office. When I became pregnant and was about to give birth, I talked to the previous manager, Mr. Rogers, and decided to start making a manual for my job. Unfortunately, Mr. Rogers retired due to an illness. And when you took his place, you told me that the manual was, quote, a waste of time, and told me to stop working on it, even though I was just a few days away from completing it. I finished it in secret anyway.
You kept working on that stupid thing?
Even with the manual, though, my job is highly technical and difficult for an inexperienced person to pick up in a short amount of time. In short, you fired someone who was doing a job that no one else at the office was capable of doing.
I did.
And as a result, the company was unable to find someone who they could train to do that job. The office's performance declined precipitously to the point that even ordinary work could no longer be done. So, upper management swiftly took action and decided to merge our office with the one in the neighboring city, where they do have an employee capable of and experience in doing my job.
Why don't you just come back to work then? That'd solve everything.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Why not?
While the circumstances are unfortunate, I had been planning to retire for some time now.
You were?
My husband is set to receive a substantial promotion at the company he works for, and as a result, we're moving to a location that's too far away for me to continue working there. I was just about to speak to you about this when you made the decision to fire me.
Oh no.
So, it looks as though the merger is inevitable at this point.
I can't believe it. Why is this happening to me? Wait, the manual. You finished it, right? Where is it?
Wouldn't you like to know?
If I can get my hands on it, we might be able to avoid the merger.
I'm sorry, but I've already handed it over to upper management.
No!
When I told them I gave to Nancy, they said they would greatly appreciate me giving it to them to use at the new location. They were quite happy to receive it.
No way! What about me? What am I going to do now?
That's something you'll have to think about on your own.
I climbed all the way up to office manager.
I'll be going now.
I was on my way up. I was going places.
Do take care of yourself, Mr. Sanders. Farewell.
I was the office manager!
Hi, Megan. It's nice to talk to you again.
Hi, Nancy.
How are things?
Me, my husband, and my daughter are all doing great, thanks. How are things going at the new branch office, Nancy?
It's great. I'm finally getting the hang of your job now. That manual was a really big help.
Glad to hear it.
Oh, by the way, about Sanders?
What about him?
He got fired.
He did?
Yeah, this new girl in the office he had his eyes on for a while announced that she was getting married, and Sanders went absolutely nuts.
Wow.
He broke a bunch of the office equipment on his way out, too. I heard he got hit with $20,000 in damages that he's got to pay off now.
That man is something else, isn't he?
I also found out recently that Sanders had been divorced twice. Kinda makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I believe that in a heartbeat.
The guy is just plain nuts. Oh, hey, my boyfriend's here, so I gotta run.
Good for you. You have a date today?
Yeah, we're going to the zoo.
Have fun.
Thanks, will do. Talk to you later.
I was wondering how a guy like him managed to become regional manager, but it turns out he had been taking credit for his subordinates' work. This all came to light during the merger. So Sanders was already hanging on to his job by a thread. Then when he had his outburst in the office, it was all that upper management could take and they got rid of him. He was put on leave without pay the next day, and the next time he was seen in the office, he was packing up his things. No one said anything to him, no goodbyes or misuse. Such a sad way to go. He's now living on his own in a tiny apartment near the old office, but he seems to be unable to find a job paying as much as he was making before getting fired. So he's currently working multiple jobs and gradually chipping away at the $20,000 he owes the company.
Hey, Ellie, you're all working late tonight to finish up some year-end work, and once we're done, we're gonna go out to celebrate.
What? Marshall, what are you thinking? You know my due date is a week away.
Yeah, and?
The baby could be born any minute. I need you to come straight home so we can be ready.
What? The baby's not due for a week. Why are you so anxious about?
Marshall!
My mom told me a while ago that I was born 1 day early, and my brother was born 2 days early. So I don't see any reason to worry about anything for at least a few more days.
Marshall, every pregnancy is different. A due date isn't a sure thing. It's just an estimate.
Would you listen to me? I'll be at home for the last 3 days until your due date. So get off my back. Don't try to use your pregnancy to control me, Ellie. Chill out already.
You think I'm using my pregnancy?
Look, just lay off of me until 3 days before your due date, got it? I'm going back to work now, so I'm not reading any more messages until I come home.
Marshall!
Hey, Ellie, you realize it's New Year's Eve, don't you?
Well, yeah, of course. There's only 3 days left until my due date, so I'm even more conscious of the calendar than usual.
Oh, so you did know? Then why aren't you cleaning the house?
Huh?
You always clean the house from top to bottom on New Year's Eve. Why haven't you done it yet? Get to work!
I've done what I can, Marshall. I can't do any more than this being so close to the birth. I'm not feeling well today, and I don't want to risk hurting the baby.
Excuse me?
I did a little bit in the morning, and I think I might have kind of pushed myself too far.
Oh, come on! All you did was wipe down the windows and tables. That's no different than what you always do every week.
You have to understand that these are not normal circumstances.
How little do you think of me? Don't you appreciate how hard I work to provide for you at all? You can't do even a little cleaning to show your thanks?
With the baby coming so soon, to be honest, I have way more important things on my mind.
You're unbelievable.
And besides, Marshall, where did you go? You said you were going to the store to get a snack, and you've been gone for 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay at a buddy's house, have a New Year's party tonight.
You what?
It's your fault for not cleaning the house. How am I supposed to relax and enjoy the new year in a filthy house? My buddy's a bachelor and even his house is cleaner.
But Marshall, you said you'd be at home with me. The due date is 3 days. Don't you remember your promise?
That was when I thought you'd do your job. You want me to come home, clean the house from top to bottom? I don't want a single speck of dust left, got it?
Now? It's already 6 p.m.
Yes, now. You're not doing your part in this marriage, Ellie. Either clean the house tonight or we're getting a divorce. Stay up all night working if you have to.
Divorce? Are you out of your mind?
You've gotten lazy and controlling ever since you got pregnant. I mean, come on, really? Your due date being 3 days away is no excuse for not doing your work. Now get to it!
How many times do I have to tell you? A due date is an estimate. The baby could be born anytime.
There you go again! You're still using your pregnancy to try and control me. You need to clean up your act and fast. I don't want you raising my kid to be a controlling little brat like you.
Did you just call me a brat?
Anyway, this conversation is over. Either clean the house tonight or I'm divorcing you tomorrow. Happy New Year!
Good morning, Ellie. Happy New Year. How are you feeling today?
Happy New Year, Mom.
I know things get awfully busy around the new year, but remember, you and your baby's health comes first.
Thank you, Mom, but I'm sorry. I think me and your son might be getting divorced.
Divorced? Oh, what happened? Did something happen between you and Marshall?
I wasn't able to clean the house in time.
What? Clean the house? Why would you need to clean the house right now? You can do that anytime. Well, you do want your house to be clean and sanitary for your new baby, but that's something that Marshall can do for himself. Wait, weren't you going to stay with your family for the birth?
Well, no. I decided to stay here instead.
Oh, really?
My mother has already passed away, and I didn't want to be a burden on my father. He lives alone, and he isn't the best of health himself.
I was under the impression that you had found another relative who would take care of you at the last minute, so you decided to stay with them.
What?
I didn't think anything of it. After all, I did the same thing. I went to stay with an aunt of mine when my children were coming due, so I didn't say anything. But is that not the case?
No, it's not. I'm alone at home right now.
You're alone? But the baby could be born any minute. You're home alone.
Yeah,
And you were cleaning.
as much as I could, yeah. Marshall told me that if I didn't have the house clean by the morning, he'd divorce me. So I thought I should do as much as I possibly could. So I was doing a little bit at a time while making sure I wasn't overworking myself. But it was just too much.
Oh, I'll be right over. Marshall told me you were staying with a relative. I thought there was no need to worry. And so I only messaged you once in a while to check up on you because I didn't want to be overbearing. Oh, I can't believe it. What is Marshall thinking?
Mom,
What's the matter?
my water just broke.
Oh no!
Ellie! I figured you were done cleaning, so I came home expecting to spend a relaxing New Year's Day in my sparkling clean house, but what the hell? You didn't clean anything! You even left the rags and buckets out in the hallway! Thanks for ruining my New Year's, you ungrateful woman. You knew the deal. This means divorce, Ellie! Where are you? You gotta sign the divorce papers, so hurry up and get back here.
Both Ellie and the baby
Huh?
are in critical condition.
What are you talking about? Wait a minute, this isn't Ellie, is it?
Right you are. I'm watching over Ellie's phone for the moment.
Huh? Who the hell are you?
I'm going to message you from my own phone momentarily. That should clear things up.
Who do you think you are? What gives you the right to butt into this? It's between me and my wife.
Hello, Marshall.
Oh, hey, Mom. Happy New Year.
Oh, do not Happy New Year me, Marshall. I did not raise you to be such a pathetic, sniveling child.
Mom, what's wrong? Why are you angry at me?
Didn't you just get a message from Ellie's line account? I told you I would message you from my own phone.
Wait, that was you, Mom?
Of course it was, you nincompoop.
Wait, but I thought you were at home. What are you doing with Ellie and why do you have her phone? Oh, I see what's going on. Ellie's at your place, right? She probably told you all sorts of ridiculous things to get you on her side, right? That's just like her. Mom, don't listen to a word she says. I have no idea what she told you, but she's been using her pregnancy as an excuse to treat me terribly lately. She even tried to skip out on her animal cleaning. Can you believe it?
What I can't believe is that you would make her clean the whole house so close to the baby's birth.
Oh no, you too, Mom? What's the big deal? The baby isn't due for 3 days.
Ellie is in the delivery room as we speak.
What?
Her water broke when I messaged her this morning to see how she was doing, and she asked me for help. I called an ambulance for her, and your father and I both rushed to the hospital to be with her. We also called Ellie's father. He's here with us right now, too. The doctor said both Ellie and the baby are in critical condition. All we can do now is wait and pray for the best.
Well, for real? But why would the baby be born so early? Me and my brother were born a day or two before the due date, but Ellie had 3 whole days left.
3 days is a long time for a full-term